Yo, 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 and a big ho, ho, ho to y'all listening to KRFF 95.9 LPFM, RadioFreeFargo.org, streaming everywhere in the world you're at. You can listen to this, the best radio station in the world. As far as I'm concerned, it's almost Christmas. I got a red sweater on. I got Christmas jams. I got songs, well, two songs that I played. This will be the third holiday season that I played them. And then I've got brand new Christmas tunes right in the middle, one of which I'm hoping sets the Christmas music genre on fire. It's brand new. It's about I keep saying Mexican bean, but it's Free Holy, the Christmas bean. And he likes to dance, and he's really all about Christmas. And he's the Christmas bean. So we're going to let Free Holy do his thing. And I think anytime you see a song called Free Holy, the Christmas bean, you gotta just go, I'm gonna play it on Thursday. Kind of Talking D with Wilson. That's what you're listening to here. Right before me was Side Stage with Trav, 1 to 3. No Stinky Arts Music Mart right after me. I believe there is Black Ring Ritual later this evening. I talk about cannabis. The subject matter is cannabis. At 4:20, I open a big fat bag of cannabis news. I'm going to keep it lighthearted. However, I cover news that's happened the last week. So if everything was deep, dark, and heavy, that's kind of, reflect that. However, the Thursday before Christmas, we're in the 20s. So, you know what I mean? I heard Santa on the Gardner roof last night. Now, it just might have been a heavy guy drunk on Boone's Farm and took that wrong last door on the 5th floor stairwell. You feel me? But anyway, I'm Wilson. Can I Talk ND with Wilson? This is a beautiful day in the neighborhood. It's like minus 4,673 degrees out there. I mean, it's so cold, if you left your cannabis in the car, it'd decarb it. Stick your grass in a snowbank, you won't even have to decarb it. I don't even know what I'm talking about. You wouldn't do that. Only in a legal state where you were allowed to, because we're here to change the law, not break the law. And it was kind of a joke. Some people believe you can get cannabis ready for the edible process by just putting it in the freezer. And so that was that joke for you people who get it, I guess. I believe cannabis was created by God himself. I worship him I worship him every day, every minute. I don't forget that there's a creator, and I believe he put cannabis here for us to use as we see fit, and I do so within the confines of the law and the Bible. I go to church at Antioch every Sunday, and normally it's at 11, but 10 o'clock on the Lord's Day. So if you want to give your props to the man upstairs for giving you life, come check it out. 417 Main Avenue. This show is brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy, blackcottagealchemy.com, Black Cottage Alchemy on Facebook, or you can scurry downtown to Tochi Products and buzz your way in and get some of this body butter by Black Cottage Alchemy, established in 2019. I just read it's natural, it's organic, CBD hemp body butter. All right, it's got 1,600 mgs of CBD. It's organic. It's got mango butter, shea butter, frankincense, and myrrh. So, get down with your baby Jesus, huh? And get you some of that myrrh, frankincense. Black Cottage Alchemy. Thank you for sponsoring this show. Let me tell you a little something that it's good for: neuropathy, pain, inflammation, and all over soothing. And, if you got an itchy butthole, use some of this body butter. All right? And your butthole, thank you. Whoa, you're like TMI. Hey, man, this is my show. And I'm talking about Christmas. So it's a little looser. It's a little looser show. I don't have a suit on. My pants don't even go down to my shoe. Well, anyway, I think we better play, Can I Talk ND on Instagram. And it's Christmas on Sunday. So, Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. This is the third Christmas I sit in this chair proclaiming the benefits of cannabis. And at 4:20, I'll zip open a red and green colored bag of cannabis news. But until then, and I don't know where this song was the last 3 years on the roster, but it's my favorite. It's Ho Ho Ho, the Dan Band, 95.9. Well, the sound of cackling elves. Ho Ho Ho, the Dan Band. That's from 2006. A holiday classic. I don't know, though. I think Mrs. Claus might have said a cuss word, and it's crazy how many times I've listened to that song hundreds of times, even with my young daughter. Well, she might not have been that young, 2006, but still. I always thought it was like, oh, well, I forgive and I apologize. I'll have to look at that a little more. You're listening to Canada Talking D with Wilson. I'm Wilson. We talk about cannabis legalization, the benefits of cannabis. Cannabis in general, it's a plant, it grows. It's actually kind of a tree. It's a kind of a Christmas tree even. And so we'll open a big fat bag of cannabis news at 4:20. Stick around for that. Programming on KRFF, LPFM, Radio Free Fargo, 95.9er, is being underwritten by Flatland Guitar and Luther Reed. Flatland Guitar is your full-service guitar shop and your exclusive dealer for Yamaha, Taylor, Paul Reed Smith guitars, and other brands. They sell guitars on consignment. They take trade-ins and have a full-service on-site repair center. Check out Flatland Guitar and Luther Reed on Facebook or visit them in person at 1450 25th Street South in Fargo. Their hours are Monday through Friday, 10 to 6, Saturdays 5 to 10, and closed on the Lord's Day. You're listening to KRFF 95.9, Radio Free Fargo. It is super chilly here in the upper Midwest called Fargo-Moorhead. Boy, oh boy, it's like minus, like I said. I mean, I think it might have gotten up to -9. The wind chill stayed like in -30,000 some. It's ridiculous, people. It's crazy, you know. So I hope everybody stays warm and everybody's doing good. I'm going to read the 12 Days of Stoner Christmas. This is from iFunny. I just kind of grabbed it somewhere. I thought it was kind of funny. I don't have any back music, so just imagine, like, you know, maybe some horse clopping. Some bells, perhaps. Maybe some jolly ho-ho-hos in the back. But it's Christmas. And in fact, it's 12 days till Christmas. So on the 12th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 12 new Bic lighters. All right, on the 11th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 11 packs of papers. On the 10th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 10 vials of hash oil. Oofda. On the 9th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 9 big pot brownies. On the 8th day of Christmas, my true love gave to me 8 concert tickets. And I'm just going to read these out now because I'm bored. 7 pounds of munchies, 6 joints of chronic, 5 grams of hash, 4 pounds of buds, 3 moon rocks, 2 water bongs, and a pot plant as big as a tree. Man, I believe I sang that. There you go. Merry Christmas. The 12 days of Stoner Christmas. In fact, I don't know. That was pretty silly. Sorry, God. But, you know, this is a cannabis show. But, you know, there's less than 12 days of Christmas. So if you ain't got presents, CBD's a good one. You know, gummies, make them sugar-free maybe. You know, but don't get the death by gummies. But if you do, talk about it. Talk about it, huh? That's crazy. But anyhow, I wish you guys a very Merry Christmas. And I'll see you. What will it be? It'll be... What will it be? Let's see, the 25th, 6th, 7th. Well, it'll be almost New Year's Eve. So I'll have to do something about that. Anyway, you're listening to Canada Talk ND with Wilson, the Christmas show. I mean, I'll tell you what's crazy is I was downtown because I live downtown here. And I'm using the van for some travel, and I want to make sure that the van starts, so I've been using it instead of walking. Normally I walk everywhere. and I'm getting in my car, and I go to back up, and I had to pause a bit because the Grinch jumped out of a vehicle next to me, and I didn't want to hit the Grinch, because that would be ironic, wouldn't it? But it just kind of reminded me that, where is the Grinch if the Grinch doesn't live in Fargo? Makes pretty good sense to me. I feel like maybe Oscar the I Can't Believe It's This Cold, the Grouch, lives in Fargo as well. Now, the moment I've been waiting for. You guys don't know you were waiting for it. But this next two jams are brand new. The last one is from Cookin' Soul. This is it's beautiful because it blends the Wu-Tang with some Christmas beats, kind of like some MF Doom. Rest in peace. And then right before that, it's going to be Free Holy, the Christmas Bean, brand new. It's from Keith McLarge, huge. So you know that this is just for you. So here we go. Free Holy, the Christmas Bean. Enjoy. Man, Rudolph Cookin' Soul, everybody. That is cool. Woo, Christmas beats. Then, Free Holy, the Christmas Bean. Man, oh man, that's by Keith McLarge, huge. And it's all one word. So, there you go. Kind of Talking D with Wilson. Every Thursday I get in here, 4 o'clock, 4:20, open a big fat bag of cannabis news. And this Thursday's no different. This is the Thursday right before Christmas, so the theme's going to be a little greener than usual. There'll be trees in there, too. We'll see you on the other side of this, okay? Okay.
Hey, it's Phil from Cannaheads. Like this episode? Hit that like button. And if you enjoy the show, hit that subscribe button to stay up to date on cannabis news, local and national. Listen live on 95.9 in the Fargo, North Dakota region from 4 to 5 p.m. on Thursday. For our non-Fargo region friends, you can listen on your favorite podcast platform. Just search Canna Talk ND with Wilson. Now enjoy the show.
Well, we're running a little late or ahead. It depends. Merry Christmas, everybody. It's Canna Talk ND with Wilson. It's 4:20. It's time to do it. Now, let's start off with an old classic. This is from 2011. This is from The Guardian. Jail for man who grew cannabis Christmas tree. Well, I'm sure that's a holly, gentlemen. Do I mean holly? I mean jolly. That's what I mean. Plant was made to resemble a festive tree by growing it to 5 feet tall and decorating it with brightly colored baubles. Well, I mean, nothing says Christmas tree without baubles, am I right? He grew a large plant to look like a Christmas tree. But he's going to spend the festive season in prison after police found his home-based drug factory. Ian Richards, otherwise known as Ian Dick, 46, made the cannabis plant resemble a festive tree by growing it, decorating it with the aforementioned brightly colored baubles. Police found it along with a small number of other plants when they raided his home in Isleham, Kent last December. So that would have been 2010. Investigating officer said by using a cannabis plant as a Christmas tree, he showed a total disregard for the law. I don't get it. But he must have. He must have had total disregard for the law. A judge at Canterbury Crown Court sentenced Richie Richards to 18 months behind bars for drug offenses. Dennett added one of his bedrooms had been transformed into a very sophisticated cannabis factory. He claimed the plants were for his own personal use, but the factory clearly had the potential to produce a large quantity of cannabis. However, I would imagine these cops are pretty ignorant of how much quantity is produced. He's now spending Christmas in prison, and by closing down this factory, we have prevented a large quantity of Class B drugs from reaching the streets. Well, ho, ho, ho. To Kent. Now, let's talk about this. This is from MaryJane.com. The cannabis hangover is probably a myth, study suggests. So, a new study suggests that weed hangover isn't even real, and it shouldn't be used to justify workplace or driver safety policies. Have you ever smoked a bowl in the morning to get rid of a weed hangover? According to a new study, that may just be a convenience excuse. The Australian study, recently published in the journal Cannabis and Cannabinoid Research, looked at 20 previous studies which included 345 performance tests. Traditionally, these sort of tests assess thinking and reaction, such as by dropping a ruler and seeing how quickly a person grabs it, or by using memory tests to measure recall. Of those 20 studies, 16 showed no next day effects. 9 of them showed no next day studies using double blinds. So only 5 out of the 20 showed next day impairment. Those 5 studies were not double blind. To top it all off, those 5 studies were also published more than 18 years ago. In the science, most research is considered kind of useless if it's older than 5 to 10 years. So the research has concluded only lower quality studies reported negative next day effects. So next day cannabis impairments may be of limited relevance to driving and workplace safety. Well, you heard it from Australian smart people. If the people from down under say there's no hangover from cannabis, well, by crikey, I believe them. All right. Now, this is from High Times. There's another little Christmas story for you. Santa Claus to deliver cannabis courtesy of MJ. Cannabis delivery service MJ will send couriers dressed up as Santa Claus now through Christmas Eve. I don't know what's crazier, having to wear that as a delivery dude or be chilling in your place and that's the person at your door when you look through the people. I don't know, you know. I mean, now I know. If I ordered from MJ and I looked out and there was a Santa, I would probably assume that was my delivery. But that's trippy, isn't it? Santa at your door? I mean, because that's like what happens as a kid, except he comes down through the chimney. But you make an order online and then he comes to your door? Almost like a virtual chimney, dare I say. Well, Santa's coming to town this year loaded up with cannabis deliveries, Southern California, which I may talk about this later, but you may want to Google this yourself. Word on the streets was there was a crazy, I think like a 6 point something on the Richter earthquake blew through Humboldt County. Apparently the Emerald Triangle, where, Humboldt County, if you know anything about cannabis, I tell you, and I wouldn't tell you this because I wouldn't have any because it's illegal, but if I did from Humboldt, you would know what I meant because Humboldt County, you know. But anyway, yeah, so an earthquake, Google it. It was pretty intense, I guess. I'm not sure what the damage is. It just happened earlier today. So Google it. Maybe I'll talk about it later if I remember. So for the time period beginning December 19th and running through Christmas Eve, MJ will send a cannabis delivery or courier to the rest of Santa Claus to deliver orders throughout LA and San Diego. It's one of the most creative holiday sales gimmicks we've seen in a long time within the cannabis retail space. So in the spirit of the Christmas season, they're trying a different marketing approach, giving the company and its leadership a chance to be extra festive. So that's crazy. So they're offering specials or whatever. I'm not going to mention any of that. Apparently, holiday marketing gimmicks are nothing new. There may even be a psychedelic connection between the Santa Claus origin story and psychedelics. In the December 1979 issue of High Times, the late counterculture correspondent for the publication, Glenn, examined the connections between Santa Claus and the specific kind of mushroom flyer agaric, a.k.a. the toadstool. In fact, O'Brien argues the mere existence of Santa could be related to a shaman in Lapland who ate this Amanita muscaria. Excuse me 1 second, I got to cough a little bit. That was a little cough. But anyway, read that. That's an interesting theory. It sure is. Now, let's talk about Dogface, huh? Remember him? Skateboarding around, drinking his cranberry juice, listening to Ooh, You Make Loving Fun. He was all chill on his way to a carpenter job, which, I don't know, but he's got himself hemmed up. Now, he's from Idaho. Idaho no like the cannabis, apparently. It's certainly not legalized, I don't think. And so Dreams. Maybe I don't know. Maybe that one doesn't have Make Love and Fun on it. Anyhow, Dogface 420, Idaho Falls guy, Nathan, was rolling down the street on his longboard, drinking the juice, singing a song, And on TikTok, I mean, he rose to fame. He led a response from everybody. I think TikTok or Ocean Spray got him a truck. He was featured in a bunch of movies. He really got a lot of love. It was a vibe during the height of the pandemic, and since then he's had a steady stream of TikTok videos. Recently, though, he was arrested for cannabis. There appears to be some dispute between the reasons for the arrest, between the perspective of Nathan, I don't know how you pronounce his last name, and Leo. According to local police, he was pulled over in his truck due to an expired sticker. Isn't that how they get us all? I used to try to go until the next year's anniversary date of expired tabs. So if my tabs expired on, say, 04/15/2010, I'd try to go until 04/15/2011 before I got pulled over. And I almost did it one time. Almost did it. I was just like a month away, and I was driving my kid to school in West Fargo, and I got popped on Main Avenue. And that was an interesting story, too, because the ticket was like $80, but then there was a woman in Cass County who sued the state of North Dakota because of the prices of the tabs and speeding or whatever was too high, or there was something, and they reduced all the fines. So by the time it came around to me being forced to pay my tabs, they went from 80 down to 20. Holla. But anyway, what am I talking about? Tabs. If you're going to be buzzing around dirty, you know what I mean? Have your tabs legitimate. It's pretty simple, you know. Or just keep your moral compass and just be rolling clean with nothing but you and the Bible. Okay. Trooper allegedly smelled cannabis when he approached a vehicle. He searched for his registration in the glove box. Copper noticed edibles, prompted him to ask to exit the truck. They found cannabis products in the truck, 3 packages of gummies, a dabbing tool. He did have some cannabis. He was booked and released in the same day with a $600 bond. TMZ contacted Dogface about the incident, who shared that from his perspective, things went differently. During the arrest, the officers failed to read him his Miranda rights. And again, that's what we always say. I mean, I feel like it's like insomnia. You know, that's the one part of the whole arrest you forget, is the cop always reads you his Miranda rights. Now, sometimes they don't, but man, I mean, what's the percentage? I mean, you think Dogface is the guy they decide not to read the Miranda rights to? I doubt it, but maybe. Initially, when officers found cannabis, they said they were only going to write a ticket. And again, that's what cops, that's what, like, they always say, you know? They always say that. They then found a gun. Well, you know, that's going to change it, right? And told me I was under arrest because I had a felony on my record. Well, that's going to change it, too. I wasn't allowed to possess a firearm. Of course you're not. However, I do not have a felony on my record. Oh. Well, that's different, right? Despite me telling them this, I was taken into custody. I was held in jail for several hours without bond before they told me they had made a huge mistake, and then I was told I was only be held on the drug charges and could bond out. In Idaho, 3 ounces or less is considered to be a misdemeanor, which can net offenders up to 1 year in jail. That's a lie. There ain't no way you're getting a year for a little bit. And up to $1,000 fine. Now, they may very well hit you with that. That's fun. They're going to take some cash if they can get it. A felony charge would include possession of more than 3 ounces but less than 1 pound. It could lead, so quarter pound gets you a felony in Idaho. That's pretty rough. Could lead up to 5 years in prison and up to 10 G's fine. Ideally, cannabis laws will be more forgiving in the future if medical cannabis is legalized. But Idaho, man, oh man, people hate medical. Advocates in Idaho are currently targeting 2024 as a year to push. Previously, Idaho has seen nearly a decade of attempts for medical, but never quite garner the necessary support. An organization called Kind Idaho is collecting signatures now. So I hope Dogface is able to be back out so he can skateboard around listening to maybe something else. This is from MaryJane.com. Illinois made $40 million in cannabis revenue from out-of-state visitors in 1 month. That's crazy. And I guarantee you that, I mean, we could argue that, let's argue $40 million, all of that, every last nickel of that, was bought and used outside a hotel or used in a park. One of Illinois' beautiful outdoor Frisbee parks. no way going to absorb $40 million of consumer expiration smoke. It ain't happening, man. So now what are we going to say? How many millions of out-of-state visitors, how many out-of-state visitors with holding $40 million in cannabis takes that back to wherever? I'd say half. I'd say here's what they do. They buy a certain amount, and then what they haven't used up, and chances are it's way more than what they thought, they just keep it and take it back. Take it back, which is no big deal to me. I think cannabis should be legal everywhere. But anyway, let's see here. Here's some financial motivation for the Midwest states to kick into gear with legalizing cannabis. State agency announced that visitors from out of state purchased this amount. And the craziest part, I guess, is that's not even the highest figure from the last few months. In July, Illinois unloaded upwards of 43 to visitors. And the average figure for tourist totes is around $39 million per month. Sales numbers are released monthly, and the office keeps track of total sales. The monthly sales average is currently hovering below 128 million, and during the first 10 months of 2022, Illinois unloaded $1.2 billion in cannabis. So come on with yourself. Man, but just think about that. Cannabis legalization is just it's kind of a big joke. And they really need to kind of just get that together. You know what I'm saying? So the last story I'll tell before we're done, and I won't do it now because I want it to be kind of Christmassy, is the weirdest, wildest cannabis stories of 2022. And the funny thing about that is I've covered them all, of course. So if you've stuck with me, none of them will be a surprise. But if you've never listened, then I'll basically be able to recap the year for you here at Canada Talking D with Wilson. Every Thursday I get in here. Where's here? KRFF 95.9, LPFM, Moorhead, Fargo, radiofreefargo.org, streaming wherever. Tell a buddy. Tell your grandma this year that a little topical CBD ointment, low THC on her joints would do her solid. This is from Marijuana Moment, Cannabis Moment, really, sorry. And this is crazy, with the spin of the way the majority of Minnesota governor expected to put cannabis legalization in budget. He wants it legalized by May. He ain't playing around. A top Minnesota lawmaker says that she expects cannabis legalization to be included in the governor's forthcoming budget request. So she reiterated that the reform will take a long time to move through the legislature. But she goes, I don't know about the Minnesota Senate. She would be surprised if they didn't also have the votes. She believes there's enough momentum in the chamber of the House. And so they're ready to rock. Governor Tim Walz, he included funding for implementing legalization. Walz and Hortman, they have differing opinions about how quickly legalization can advance. The governor said he wants it done by May, while the speaker's made clear she feels it will take longer, right? And that's those politicians you don't like. Oh, we'll have to see, we'll have to look, and it could be, we'll have to hear, and we'll get back to go, talk about it. It's all just him-ha, talky. You know what I'm saying? So it's ridiculous. So, oh, man, I got slammed by Forbes in an ad blocker. Well, they're not gonna tell me what to do. They're not gonna tell me what to do. All right, I'm just going to jump on here and find it because I've got it myself here. All right, so firefighter fired for medical cannabis use, rehired after settlement with City of Buffalo. So that's cool. I didn't realize he got a settlement. This is from Forbes. Buffalo, New York firefighter returned to the job this week after reaching a legal settlement in a case challenging his dismissal for using cannabis medically. Scott was fired by the city last year, leading to a lawsuit filed by the firefighter against the City of Buffalo and the Buffalo Fire Department for wrongful termination. This week, Martin announced that he had settled his lawsuit against the city and would be returning to work as a city firefighter. Let's not give David C. Holland. He's the attorney, maybe. Martin says that the legal action was filed to preserve Martin's rights as a certified registered cannabis patient under New York's Compassionate Care Act, human rights law, and the civil rights law. Well, that is awesome, isn't it? So, let's talk about this quick. This is kind of interesting. This is from Cannabis Moment. Twitter stopped suggesting people who search for cannabis may need drug treatment. Isn't that funny? I didn't even realize they did that because I'm not on the Twitter. Twitter appears to have ended a federal partnership, keyword federal there, that had presented users who searched the site for certain cannabis-related keywords, including cannabis, with the suggestion they considered entering treatment. No such suggestion had appeared for alcohol searches. Launched in 2020, the feature has been a source of contention for advocates who criticize the social media company for suggesting that any interest in cannabis is indicative of a potential substance misuse problem. It did not disaggregate searches for policy news and products, for example. At some point this month, the feature, which is rolled out in concert with the Federal Substance Abuse and Mental Health Service Administration, SAMHSA, was suspended without notice. It's possible that an agreement between Twitter and SAMHSA for the search feature expired or that it was removed. Help is available if you or someone you know is struggling with substance abuse. You are not alone, the prior warning said. And then you have a reach out button, whatever. While promoting substance misuse treatment isn't necessarily problematic, of course not. Advocates have pushed back the fact that Twitter chose to peg these notices to cannabis and certain other currently illegal drugs in particular, while allowing alcohol search results to be displayed on the platform without a similar warning, which makes sense. Interestingly, while the SAMHSA treatment resources were flagged for Twitter users who searched for cannabis, cocaine, and heroin, and LSD, and other drug-related terms, came with no such invitation to consider getting help. Oh, well, it is possible that SAMHSA proactively sought to end the partnership, especially considering that the head of the U.S. Department of Health has been taking to Twitter to discuss federal cannabis policy. Musk, meanwhile, has inserted himself in the cannabis debate on several occasions, including on Twitter. So, anyhow, that is what I have for you there. Now, I'm going to wrap up this Can I Talk Indeed with Wilson, which is every Thursday, 4:20, open a big fat bag of cannabis news on 95.9. RadioFreeFargo.org. This is from Leafly. And again, I've covered all of these stories, and they're all kind of fun. The weirdest, wildest cannabis stories of 2022. Cannabis can bring out the funny in all of us. Every year, Leafly editors round up the year's weirdest weed stories. So this is the best bumbler of 2022. Minnesota's legalizing state legislators. In their zeal to regulate products containing hemp-derived cannabis compounds, Minnesota state legislators passed a law that inadvertently legalized edibles containing up to 5 megs of THC. The law took effect on July 1st. The Star Tribune reported that Republican State Senator Jim Abler says he didn't realize the new law would legalize THC edibles. After an amendment passed unanimously, Abler said, "That doesn't legalize marijuana. We just didn't do that, did we?" They did. Abler wanted to repeal the new law, but Democratic Governor Tim Walz and the Democrat-controlled House are in favor. So the law remained in effect. That's hilarious. 2022's most munchable product was Mike Tyson's Bites. They were edibles that were basically the ear of Evander Holyfield that he bit. Let's keep going. Strange things are afoot at the Circle K. In mid-October, a national cannabis company announced it would partner with Circle K to offer cannabis pickup kiosks. That's wild. Best Chia Pet of 2022, Chiba Bong. It's a handmade decorative planter. It quickly sold out. Then the crazy story was the National Park Service issuing a public service announcement to stop licking the psychedelic toads. Remember that one? It's hilarious. Now remember this? This one's funny. The stinking, during a court hearing in the city of Mathura, India, police were unable to produce 850 pounds of cannabis that had been stored as evidence. They said rats ate it. Funny, right? So, Kansas City State University discovered that feeding hemp to cows helps them to sit down and chill out. Now, a farmer in Lampang region of Thailand partnered with university researchers. Researchers have studied the addition of cannabis to a chicken's diet. Remember that one? Now, marketing department, totally owned Buffalo Wild Wings. Wingstop introduced a limited-time 420-inspired flavor, Blazed and Glazed, on April 18th. So, I don't know what I'm talking about. We'll just keep going here. Let's keep talking. Oh, there's no way to get your auntie stoned. Remember, the Florida bride and groom allegedly conspired with their caterer to get the entire party stoned with the infused food. You can check it out yourself. I gotta go because it's done. Kind of Talking D with Wilson every Thursday. A Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. I'll be back here next Thursday. I got my last and final fun song. However, first I want to tell you about Art Riot programming on KRFF. It's brought to you by Art Riot. Art Riot will design and print any business or personalized custom decal in a variety of shapes and sizes. Art Riot creates custom engraved gifts and promotional items. Art Riot offers flexible online or in-person consultations. Local in-store pickup or shipping is available for any order. Visit them at 819 Main Avenue in Moorhead. Visit them at 819 Main Avenue in Moorhead. Art Riot is open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5. You can find them online at artriotpromotions.com and also on Facebook and Instagram. All right. Well, it is my pleasure to bring you one of my favorite songs for Christmas in the world. This is Fruitcake by the Superions. Hey, don't call me Fruitcake. The Superions, the voice of Mr. B-52 himself, here on KRFF 95.9 Radio Free Fargo. Stick around for Black Ring Ritual. I'm kind of talking D with Wilson. Every Thursday I get in here, we discuss cannabis talk, cannabis legalization, health benefits, stuff in general. It's brought to you by Black Cottage Alchemy, blackcottagealchemy.com, Black Cottage Alchemy on Facebook. Or you can come downtown here and get their body butter at Tochi Products. It's a CBD hemp product. It's made with 1,600 mgs of CBD. It's got frankincense, myrrh, all the holiday spices, ylang ylang, coconut oil, blah, 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 blah. But it's good for chemo burns, radiation, foot fungus, and the like. So thank you, Black Cottage Alchemy, for sponsoring this show. And a Merry Christmas to each and every one of you. Stinky Arts Music Mart will not be in today. Expect him next week, though. I will be here next Thursday. I've got holiday stuff to do. So I wish you and yours a beautiful, beautiful time. And this is a great time of year, like I said, to discuss and educate yourself so you can educate others on the benefits of cannabis. So do that this year. Be the spokesperson for the green. And I'll see you next Thursday. Until then, here's David Allen. Judgment Day. Peace.